Wasn't surprised at all.
No.
I mean, it seems completely makes sense, but that's exactly what I expected.
Yeah, it seemed like just a matter of time for him.
There's no way you can look like that.
No.
In your 40s, I mean, he's preposterously jacked.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu. Again, buddy, this is how you know he's not thinking clear. You can't fight. I know you think you're tough, but there's levels to that. And he might be a tough guy. And there's a lot of tough guys. Oh, yeah. And I know he, walks barefoot and takes shits laying down and does enemas and he's tough in his world. There's levels to toughness, dude.
Looks like Joe Rogan has finally broken his silence on the whole Liver King fiasco. And according to him, this muscle-bound caveman isn't dodging jail anytime soon. Brian Johnson, better known as Liver King, definitely did not have a kingly week. He landed in a Texas county jail and only got out after coughing up $20,000 for bail. Apparently, threatening Joe Rogan was a terrible idea. Rogan told the police he was honestly scared by Liver King's wild online rants and all the let's fight talk. Johnson kept acting tough, throwing out challenges like a caveman tossing raw meat. The cops didn't wait around. They picked Johnson up right at the Four Seasons Hotel in Austin. He had been living large, but his luck ran out fast. Now, if Rogan is right, the only ancestral living Liver King is about to try is sharing a jail cell with someone named Bubba. Joe Rogan doesn't have to make up stories.
For anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight.
After getting out, Liver King didn't exactly run off to meditate in the wilderness. Instead, the court slapped him with a restraining order, telling him to stay at least 2 football fields away from Joe Rogan and his entire crew. But that's not all. The judge basically said, hey, maybe it's time to get your head checked, and gave him just 1 week to go talk to some mental health pros. Not exactly the primal therapy he's used to, but rules are rules. Did any of that slow him down? Not a chance. The moment Liver King was back on the outside, he ran straight to Instagram, screaming to his 3 million followers like nothing had even happened. And just to make things even wilder, he doubled down, calling out Rogan again, daring him to step into the ring for a so-called friendly beatdown. In one clip, the self-proclaimed caveman practically growled, "We didn't show up for a group hug. We're here to scrap. So Joe, let's break a few bones together. Nobody's dying." Talk about doubling down on chaos. This saga just keeps getting wilder, and Liver King shows no signs of letting up.
Coming to Joe Rogan's town, Austin. I was here before you, Joe Rogan. It's Texas, that's my home. This week you probably might need to worry about me. Probably need to worry about Joe Rogan more. You've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me all week, Joe Rogan. So when I'm like, hey, anybody know my name? Liver King. Who am I fighting? Joe Rogan.
You can't make this up. Liver King thought it'd be hilarious to tell the world that the Wi-Fi at his luxury hotel was literally named F Joe Rogan. Because, nothing says mature apology like trolling the guy who just got you slapped with a restraining order. At one point, Liver King even tried to play it off and claim maybe he was actually beefing with Seth Rogen instead. Nice try, Brian, but it's pretty hard to sell that plot twist when you've been barking threats at Joe all over social media like a caveman who just discovered Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, the self-proclaimed king of raw liver was strutting around his high-end suite with an ankle monitor strapped to his leg, all while bragging about his new bedtime. Yep, the courts got him grounded from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Did he lay low? Of course not. Naturally, he filmed himself crawling through the hotel hallway like a budget Tarzan. Because why just follow a court order when you can turn your drama into content, right? But here's the wildest part. All this chaos is completely one-sided. Official reports show Joe Rogan has never even met Liver King in real life. This whole meltdown is basically a solo show, Liver King versus reality. Honestly, the only thing that gets Liver King more hyped than a raw steak is when Joe Rogan tries the carnivore diet.
Do you get stoked when Joe Rogan goes on the carnivore diets?
I've heard about it, and anybody who's talking about this, I love it. You're helping me do my job. This is my purpose in life. And as much as it is what we eat, it's also what we don't eat. So to answer your question, I love it when people are talking about eating carnivorously. I think Joe Rogan shows that he has a transformation when he does it. I don't know why he does it longer.
But the internet's losing it over one detail. what Joe Rogan said about Liver King trying to meet him in Vegas. When Liver King showed up, Rogan's security guards didn't even let him in the building. And now, after all that, Liver King is online talking about attacking Joe Rogan. The irony is wild, and honestly, it's just adding fuel to this already out-of-control circus.
One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, I'm a producer for the Liver King. I'm like, what the fuck do you produce? What are you producing?
Like, how many UFC events did he try and kind of like cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas.
Oh, damn.
At the MGM. And then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry you feel bad, because that's just what happens when you get caught lying.
And it's not just Joe Rogan right now. The entire internet is roasting Liver King. People are calling him everything from a clown to just plain irrelevant. It's like he stepped straight into the spotlight just to become the punchline. At this point, Liver King's basically gone full Joker King. Even other big creators are jumping in, bringing up the whole mess again and adding to the fire.
Like, the videos he's posted reminds me of the Joker tape from The Dark Knight. It feels like he's perpetually trying to cut a WWE promo targeting Joe Rogan here, but when he's doing these callouts, it really does seem like an extreme threat against Joe Rogan's life, and a lot of it is incomprehensible. So a ton of like non sequiturs jumping all over the place, so it's incoherent.
Just look at this so-called fitness influencer, Liver King. He's out here acting like a total clown on the internet most days. Can you imagine a grown man chugging 4 cups of coffee one after another in the most disgusting way possible just for a shot at meeting Joe Rogan? Seriously, what more can you even say? Just watch him and try not to cringe.
Good morning, Primal. This is Mr. Enema Bucket. That's coffee, Keon coffee, the best kind, so I can drink some of the coffee both ways. That's what I'm doing right now. This is like the 4th one that I'm doing, and that's how I'm doing it.
Some creators didn't hold back. They broke it all down with zero mercy.
This is what I'm currently taking. So here's this stack: IGF-1 LR3, CJC with IMAP, ibutamoren, omnitrope, testosterone cypionate, deca, nandrolone decanoate.
But nobody was buying his excuses. On top of all the backlash, his company took a massive hit, losing $25 million as soon as the truth came out. That's a jaw-dropping switch from just a few months ago when he was riding high and acting unstoppable.
Him saying that's a massive switch from just a few months ago where he was previously calling anyone calling him out subprimal. But essentially, it seems like things have slowly gone downhill from here since this all happened. His companies were sued for $25 million for deceptive marketing due to his steroid controversy.
So much for being a so-called Sigma or alpha male. At this point, Liver King can't even pass as a beta or a gamma. He's basically crowned himself the International Clown King, and honestly, that might be his biggest achievement yet. He's turned himself into pure internet gossip, desperate to stay relevant even as legal trouble keeps piling up around him. He just bailed himself out of jail like it's pocket change, barely breaking a sweat. And let's be real, does anyone actually believe this is the last stunt we'll see from him? Chaos is his entire brand now. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to stir up even more drama or pull off another wild act just to keep his name in the headlines.
Till I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way. And still, I believe that the path to paradise is paved.
Do I think he can ever win back his audience? Honestly, not the way he thinks. People love to watch a train wreck, sure, but they don't exactly trust it with their money or their fitness goals anymore. He'll still get the clicks for acting like a fool, but that king of primal living image, toast, completely gone. And as for that fantasy of fighting Joe Rogan, that's pure make-believe. Rogan has zero reason to waste his time in the ring with a walking circus act. If anything, he might mention Liver King on his podcast just for laughs. But actually stepping in a ring? Nope. The only ring Liver King's walking into next is the courtroom.